Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to quickly show you how you can track down and destroy the surveyors and ARC raiders. So the first reason that you'll probably need or want to do this is to complete the mixed signals quest that you get from Shawnee. However, you can also get some pretty good loot and experience as well, so it can be worth it to go after them if you do have the opportunity. However, they can be a bit tricky to track down and destroy, as their default reaction when you kind of come across them or attack them is to run away, and they're actually pretty quick. So I'll go through and kind of demonstrate how I went about tracking these down, destroying them, and just some tips on finding their location. Alright, so first off, just covering some gear and skills and things like that that'll help make this a little bit easier. Starting with the weapon, I would highly recommend using something with heavy ammo, like the Pharaoh. As you can see, that has strong arc armor penetration, as these guys do have a pretty tough shell that you're going to have to break through before you can destroy it. If you found an anvil or you're at the point where you can make them, that's another good option. I went into a run with both of these equipped and was able to take one down just using these alone. It does take some time. However, if you have explosives, that's going to make things even more easier on you. So in the explosive station, I can't craft these yet, but the two I would recommend are the Snap Blast Grenade or the Trigger Nade. I've gotten some of these, I think, as quest rewards and just as random loot. So I used these on a couple runs as well, which work really well to blow off that initial shell. So those two, if you have them, I would go in and utilize those, which I'll demonstrate. And then also, as mentioned, these guys run away and they're pretty quick. So as you can see, my build currently is pretty heavily in mobility. So having things like increasing your max stamina or the marathon runner to increase the cost of stamina is going to make things a lot easier to continue to you have to kind of chase them down for a while if you're going to just use the guns. But as mentioned, if you can use explosives, that's going to cut down on your need to kind of run and chase these guys around the map. So I've got quite a bit of skill and mobility, which came in handy. And then in terms of location, I had the best luck in Buried City. I think they spawn in the other maps, but I could only find them in Buried City. That's where I had the best luck. More specifically on the night raid, if that's available, as he sends out a blue laser beam into the sky, and being at night, it makes that a lot easier to see. So I would recommend Buried City. If you have better luck in other locations, more power to you, but that's where I kind of stuck to farm these guys, and I could typically find one on most of my runs. So when loading into the map, the first thing that I'd recommend doing is just trying to get to some high ground, whether that's on top of a roof or some other structure, and just scan the sky for a while until you see that blue laser that I talked about. Once you see it, make a note of its general location and then try to run to it as fast as you can. So this is another reason those skill points into stamina come in handy. However, he will continue to move around the map, so more than likely he's not going to be in that exact spot once you get there. But at this point, at least you know there's one currently active in the map somewhere. So as you move to that area, just continue to keep an eye out for the next laser, and eventually you should be able to identify its location. After that, you'll want to try and be as sneaky as possible, since if he sees you, he'll more than likely start running away, but this will also prevent him from opening up his laser, which can create a bit of a weak spot, as that area lets you bypass some of his armor. Occasionally, he will also, if he's kind of cornered, may just charge directly towards you, so be ready for that as well. And then at this point, if you only have a weapon, again, I'd recommend something with heavy ammo like the Pharaoh. Try and wait for that laser to open up and then aim at that spot. Then it's really just kind of a matter of chasing him around the map, getting off as many shots as you can to break off those armor plates and eventually destroy him. As mentioned though, if you do have explosives, this can cut down on the number of times you have to chase them down quite a bit. If you have trigger nades, I think those work the best, as it will stick to the surveyor and then you can detonate it, which will blow off some of his armor plates right away. I also did try using a hornet drive, which in the description says it will stun enemies. However, it just ended up bouncing off, so I'm not sure if those are very effective for this. Once you are able to destroy it though, you'll get a nice amount of loot, as not only is the main core of the Surveyor lootable, but also all of the armor plates that break off as well. And searching each one of those is going to give you experience points, so there's some additional benefit for leveling up by defeating these two. On this one, you can see I found a blueprint for the explosive mine, which was awesome, as well as the Surveyor Vault item, which is needed for the mixed signals quest. So I'll leave you with that. Hopefully this helps you track down the location of surveyors and ARC raiders and defeat them, as well as complete that mixed signals quest. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.